go, as we have Sting going to be spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner here as our blue Terran. And spawning up to the top right-hand corner, we have Enderr going to be spawning here as our red Zergs.
Yup. And Tomb Valley, I think it's the first time that I do see Tomb Valley here. It's the first time when I cast it, actually, I think. And yeah, I heard that Sting has some really, really offensive builds.
Well,
so let's see if he tries to execute one of them. He's already making his barracks down at his natural, but it was a 13 or 12, whatever, barracks, so it's not like super all-in if he decides to make a second barracks. Yeah, actually this SCV will make another barracks, so it was 12-14.
Yeah.
But 12-14 is still pretty eco to Rex, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he can put some pressure on with this, and he's just riling it right into the middle of the map. He will potentially push right far over. I think, actually, ESL and Tomb Valley is cross positions enforced, so he knows exactly where his opponent is, and he'll just rally across and try and put on some pressure from that point on. Now, interestingly enough, we have our Enderr actually making his spawning pool in a more interesting location than I was expecting, because normally I expect it in the middle, back of the mineral line, right?
Well,
like,
but it doesn't really matter,
no,
right?
I mean,
it only matters if there are drops in the late or mid game.
Yeah.
And actually, both players are not aware of it being cross only, I think. Because Enderr scouted with his Overlord to the south position, and now Sting is scouting the north position. He will send his Marines to the Xalnaga Tower anyways, to the Watchtower, so it doesn't really affect him too much. But let's see, the spawning pool is ready. He did save the lava, and he's making 4 Zerglings, and the Queen, of course. So let's see if the Bunker Rush will do a lot of damage. There are some really cute points or positions where the Terran can wall off his Marines with only a single bunker.
Yeah, they're not used as much down on the low ground nowadays. He's just going to go straight up to the high ground. But you're right, those can be really, really irritating if you want to leapfrog up there. Whoa, Enderr is not taking this lightly at all. He's going to actually also throw down the Spine Crawler as well as shoo away all of these. But this is a really nice response here by him. He doesn't want to take it lightly, because if he does, and by some chance that bunker ends up getting up, we could have a similar situation to what we saw in the very first push from Lucifron going up against Mafia, which eventually led on to the second push, but let's not talk about that one.
No, and I think it's okay to pull a lot of drones at first, just to figure out if the Terran will commit to this or not. And he made the Spine Crawler as well, which is definitely a good choice, because against any kind of Marine, SCV or Hellion pressure, it will help a lot. Sting is getting a command center behind this. Only a single gas so far, not a second one. Only one refinery. And there are no Overlords. Wait, did the Overlord die here at the third base?
Seems so. I mean, considering...
Yeah, look, he has...
completely supply blocked, so nice pick off of an Overlord there.
So yeah, he has no idea what's the follow-up here. It could be 4x, could be 7x if you're TLO, or it could be a CC, so he has no clue what's going on in the main base of Sting here.
Producing a ton of Marines right now, keeping everything going. And I mean, you know, Sting has a lot of opportunity to actually go for something very, very aggressive just with exclusively Marine. He's going to have a ton of Marines out very, very quickly. And if Enderr doesn't actually react to this, it's one of those builds that's like not all in. Of course it's not all in. He's got a command center behind it, right? But just underestimating the production capabilities of 4 barracks this early on, and having those hit if you don't have, you know, like some good creep spread, for example, a good amount of Zerglings, or even the Baneling nest this early on, can really, really be so detrimental.
The Zergling didn't see anything. He tried to sacrifice the Zergling to see the amount of barracks, but he didn't see anything apart from like 4 or 5 Marines. Combat shields is on the way, as you said. He's going to produce so many Marines, and then he will hit a timing with a combat shield. Maybe even pull a few SCVs, like 4 or 5, to have a small buffer.
Yeah.
He does have his command center, as you said, so it's not an all-in. He can double produce SCVs and, of course, mules. And he's getting an eBay as well, so it's definitely setting up for this timing attack, but also for the later stages of the game.
Yeah, meanwhile,
but he has to do damage, by the way. If he doesn't do anything, then it's not too easy to come back.
Yeah, you're right. Like, Ender's getting his double evolution chamber, and we just have, you know, Sting going for the one engineering bay. But yeah, all of these minerals ultimately could have been invested into something else far, far more worthy. If just like a factory and siege tanks, for example, along with 2 earlier gas geysers. So this attack here does have to do damage. And, I mean, it has all the potentials to do a lot of damage, because that's a lot of Marines, and they might get caught a little bit off guard here by the Zerglings, and now he sees the threat that is looming there with how many Marines actually were there. He's going to threaten with a counter-attack in the form of those Zerglings and try and draw his opponent back, but Sting's having none of it. He's actually just going straight to his opponent's natural.
Yeah, the Zerglings being defended very, very easy, and Enderr can try to surround the army here, but there are so many Marines, so it's actually, even if you surround them, they're going to kill a lot of Zerglings. Does he have, 3 queens? There are 4 queens on the field, so... Oh no, he's throwing away a lot of Zerglings here.
Yeah.
That was painful, but Sting doesn't want to commit to this. He's running back. He didn't feel like he could do damage, so... Yeah, he's just running back with his Marines now.
Yeah, his Baneling Nest is only just, like, 33% complete right now. More Zerglings get sacrificed here. Sting getting a very, very nice trade indeed. But Enderr did a good job of about killing off the rocks between his natural and his third in a rapid pace. Because if you end up having that many Marines at the top of your ramp on your third, but the rocks are not down, you're in a sticky position. You really are, especially the fact that he's also getting creep spread going across that ramp as well. So Ender's playing this out pretty darn nicely right now, but I mean, don't count out Sting just yet. He's still poising for some kind of attack.
Wow, beautiful positioning here from Sting. Having some of the Marines in those small corners down here. +1 is almost finished for Sting, and Stimpak is on the way. He did kill one of the queens here. Baneling's being morphed. The Zergling's running in. But as I said, the positioning is so good for the Marines. They do so much damage right now.
That's a lot of Zerglings, though. He's trying to clean up what he can. He will get a lot more of these Marines for his troubles, but still, there's just so many Marines on the low ground. Sting here, actually, he needs to deal with those Banelings. He can't split. He doesn't have Stim. And on creep, those Banelings absolutely annihilate those Marines. So a nice cleanup there eventually by Enderr.
Yeah, let's see. It's 50 SCVs against 45 drones. So I think the trade overall was okay for Sting. Could have been maybe a bit better, but... like, he couldn't save a single Marine. Maybe he wanted to wait till Stimpak was done or something, but it was still okay. He's getting a second factory right now. Does have +1 on the way. The armor, obviously, the attack upgrade is already finished. And his third CC was built behind this. So, yeah, I think he's in a decent spot. First Medivac is ready. So, if he wants to, he could start to drop his opponent a little bit.
I quite like the way in which Sting has just been playing this in general. He's always kept his Marines in the middle of the map. He's always seemed to threaten his opponent. So as such, Enderr has been playing what I would consider to be pretty drone light at the 12-minute mark. He's at 54 drones right now to 58 SCVs. So Enderr at this point, he feels a little constricted, but after cleaning all of that up, I mean, he doesn't feel as constricted anymore, of course. But we still have Sting, you know, still powering out his macro, getting his third base up and running and going for some kind of drop play.
Yeah, as I said, the one Medivac is starting to drop. There are no Mutalisks, no Infestors, so the Medivac can always load in the units again. But it's been spotted by the Overlords. There's one Spinecrawler in the natural already being made. And I think he's rallying his reinforcements to kill the Marines from the Medivac here. So maybe gonna lose a few drones. Yeah. And actually he's losing quite a lot of drones here. And also the Queen wasn't the best defense here. And Sting is moving out with his somewhat of a main army. It's looking pretty small actually. It's only like 20 Marines and a siege tank.
It's fun because normally you would see like a 3 siege tank, 2 medevac push out, but he's actually utilizing a lot of that elsewhere. He's using it to draw his opponent army away from that location so he can deny the 4th, which he does, and now he can potentially put aggression on at the 3rd, unless that's a lot of Banelings.
That's a lot of Banelings, yeah. I don't think it's a good idea to push here for Sting. He will lose a lot of Marines. Maybe he can load up some more. No. And he's gonna get cleaned up here.
Clean it. Nicely done there by Enderr, killing off the majority of what we saw there from Sting. And right now he's actually forced back the drop as well. He's lost 14 workers thus far, but it's still, I mean, it's still 58 to 67.
Yeah, the SCV count is looking so good for Sting. Yeah. And also, together with the mules, he has a really, really good income. The Hive is on the way, though, for Enderr, so maybe he can somehow get his tier 3 going with the 3-3 upgrades and maybe some kind of Ultralisk or Broodlord switch. But it's going to be tough because 70 SCVs together with mules is so much income. And Sting, the only thing he's missing right now is the 2-2 upgrades. He doesn't have the armory. Actually, yeah, it's been halted for quite a while already. The armory just being built now, and yeah.
I guess the saving grace of Enderr, if there is one, will be these infestors, right? He's got 4 on the way, he's got pathogen glands coming out. If he can land good fungals on his opponent's marines, he should be in an okay spot to defend this. He's getting 20 banelings as well. Again, that synergy is going to be so crucial in dealing with this push.
Yeah,
that the siege tank line's going to go back really far here. So Enderr has to make this engagement very clutch.
Yeah, look at the supply. Sting is at 170 against 135. Enderr does have 2-2 upgrades. He's running in right now. The banelings getting in from a weird angle, and oh no. They all exploded into like 2 siege tanks, and the other one died to a siege tank fire. And he didn't hit a single fungal because his spread was just not perfectly timed there.
That's just not good enough here. Right now, Sting is playing out. I mean, he played that tank siege up very patiently. He very slowly moved like the tanks forward into the location that he found. I mean, he knew that the middle ground was okay. Fungal goes down. He actually locks down a lot of these marines. Not too bad a trade, but loses a lot of banelings to those siege tanks. Another fungal goes down, locking down the marines once again. And for now, Enderr will have to fall back. He's losing all of his infestors, which are so important. Right now, Sting is 80 supply up. Powering on this army is too much for him to handle.
Really good macro by Sting. Even though he still didn't start 2-2, that's like the only mistake he did during the macro game. But like his production, like marine and tank production and SCV production, was flawless the whole game.
Yeah.
He's so far ahead in supply. He was so far ahead in eco. Because as you said, his marines were always on the map, so the Zerg never knew, do I have to make more units or can I make drones? And yeah, now he's ahead. 100 supply, GG. Taking the first map here on Entomb Valley.
An impressive game by Sting, actually. I was pretty impressed by the way in which he controlled the aggression as well as just kind of macroing it behind it. It was rather cool to watch. Enderr didn't really have. Again, it always felt like Sting was threatening in the mid game, right? Like he was always present and always looking to find an opportunity to just poke in. This really put Enderr on edge in that regard. And as a Zerg in that position, you're like, do I make units? Is he really going to start pushing in with those marines? I need those banelings if he is going to. So you kind of you feel a little constricted.
It was really tough for him to do the right decision.